to the IYNF podcast. Today I have a very special guest with me. I have my not only friend, colleague, but also roommate with me and fellow ESC volunteer, Maya. Give a round of applause. And today we're not at the office, we're actually in our apartment that we share here in Prague. And we're recording this in my room. We lit a little candle, we're comfortable sitting down. So now we're gonna talk a little bit about how our ESC experience has been. We're gonna answer some questions about how it is to be an ESC volunteer at IYNF. And yeah, this is basically what this week's episode is dedicated to. And we can start with how did you become an ESC volunteer?
Oh my god, how did I become? So basically I had a plan in my head. I wanted to do an ESC volunteering term, and I've been searching for an opportunity for a very long time, and I wanted to do this after my studies. And I've been literally hanging around the European Union website every day, and then one day I saw a call by IYNF and I really liked what they wrote and the website call and everything else. I wrote an application, I made a little video, and very soon I was contacted by our coordinator, Francesco, and he invited me for an interview. And after an interview, I was offered a position.
Yeah, and now you're in your 11th month?
Yes, 11th month, soon getting into the 12th month. So I'm actually nearing my ending, my departure from IYNF, so I'm really emotional. I've been emotional for 4 months.
Yeah.
So it's
But that's a good thing that you're sad that you're about to leave. I had a little bit different story on how I entered my ESC, because I'd never heard about this, and I was finishing my bachelor's degree and I wanted to do an internship at an environmental NGO, so I was searching all over Europe. I didn't care where I was going, I just wanted to work for an organization that had their ground values similar to mine, and that I could work with something that would feel meaningful. And there, one of my professors in Paris recommended me IYNF, and I sent an email hi, I really want to do an internship. And yeah, I also got the message back from Francesco, and he was like, yeah, sure, you can come to Prague right away, join us in Romania. And I'm like, what is this? This is crazy. So I joined, and then after my 2-month internship, I was actually asked if I wanted to stay 1 more year. So for me it was a bit different, but yeah, we both were searching for something different and get some new experiences. And what is the typical tasks of the IYNF ESC volunteer?
Okay, so we're actually given a whole lot of freedom on what we want to do. We're always asked, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to work on? What would you like to learn? But for us, and for me, and for you as well, we are really social media girls, and we are really visuals and pictures and videos. So we do a lot of that, but also we do a lot of preparations for our courses. We even organized our own workshops and our own little training. We even participated in writing a project which was really amazing. I do a lot of info packs and a lot of redesigning games and designing whole toolkits and working on toolkits and methods. So it's a very exciting thing. It's a very exciting job that we have, and I'm very, very happy. And an ESC volunteer is I don't know, I really believe that we have an amazing project here in Czech Republic, and I'm glad to be a part of this.
And what task do you like the most?
I don't know. That's the thing. I really liked finishing the video.
What video?
The one in Romania, and I haven't made any other videos since, and I'm planning to make one for A1. And I also really enjoy I think I like making the info packs. It's just that I'm always really pressed by time when I do them, but I enjoy making them because I always try to make them better and better.
And info packs is what we send out to our participants before our activities.
Yes, we send 2 in total. to help them prepare for the activity and giving them some information.
And what is your least favorite task in your ESC day-to-day?
Least favorite task is when I have to contact someone for something, when I have to chase people using emails, phone calls, and whatever. So that's the thing that I hate the most, is because people just don't reply.
Yeah.
And you're also trying to be very polite, and you're really trying to tell them, okay, I really need this, and can you please? And that's like the least favorite task, maybe. And also just those little boring things you have to do. And yeah, I don't like filling out those forms, like travel reimbursement forms. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah,
really?
the paperwork at IYNF, I find it a bit outdated, and for me it's very strange because we have to fill out forms by hand and everything like that.
Yeah, but it is not our fault, it's the fault of the Czech government, who requires us to have everything on paper and printed and copied. And so it can all be digital, but not yet, I guess.
And also, as an ESC volunteer, you're supposed to indulge in also the language of the country that you're in. And I would love to dive a bit deeper into how has it been to learn Czech. Like, what has been your journey?
My journey learning Czech? Okay, so it has been I prepared the ship. I put the sails up, I check all the engines, and I check the wheel and everything, and then I start sailing, and then I hit a rock or something, and then I have to go back and fix my ship. And that's like quarterly throughout the year, I think, the attempts. But for me, I speak a little Slavic language, so I can understand them quite well.
I don't, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm so lost.
Yes, and so currently the online support that we have for the language learning is something you can open and laugh at. At this point, because even for me, who doesn't speak the language, I already know what they're saying because I'm just a Slavic speaker, and it's just ridiculous. So that's something that the people who are working on the program should maybe start working on.
Yeah, because basically we're supposed to get an online language course, but they haven't developed it in Czech yet because Czech is not.
Yeah, it's not a fancy language. It's just a little Czech language, you know.
So, and also we're in between like some
system changes.
Progress, so they haven't really found out how to teach us Czech yet.
Yes.
So I see some of the other ESC volunteers, they have language courses at their workplace and these kind of things, but for us we haven't really received anything. So for me, I only know some few words. Yes. So for me, I haven't learned that much, unfortunately, because I was like, I'm gonna live here for a year. I learned other languages during like a year when I lived in the country, but here we're working in an international company. We speak English, we write English every day, and we are also traveling a lot with our work. So we really see a lot of internationals, and also in the streets you hear English all the time. So
all the time.
You kind of don't need it, but I wish I had learned it, honestly. I'm sad about this.
Honestly, I was very enthusiastic about the language when I first started, but now I'm not like, I don't know, maybe I don't even need it, but it's such a shame that I lost the spark for the language. Maybe I will have it, maybe it will be returned to me at some point, but I just don't feel like it anymore.
I was like, I want to learn it to go to the farmer's market and talk with the locals because they often don't speak English. But now I just like I'm just pointing and
you
like
somehow
giving
manage. You point, you use other sign languages.
That's how we roll. But so unfortunately, I see other people because other ESC volunteers that I've met that live in Czech Republic, they work in programs where they work with children who often don't speak English, so they're more pushed to it. While we at IYNF, we don't really have to learn. So I think that's the way to learn a language, to like when you
absolutely must.
And also for us, we have our living situation is maybe I heard other ESC volunteers, they also live together. Some actually share a room as well. So, but we are living together in this flat with two other roomies, which I honestly, when I heard that I was gonna move into a flat with my colleague, I was a bit skeptical, because I was like, oh no, what if it's too much time with one person? Because when we work together and live together, you're kind of together 24/7.
Yeah, and we also spend our free time on each other. Amal is literally my manager at this point. So if you need to schedule something with me, you should speak to her first and then consult with me. So yeah, I was also a bit like apprehensive, because we got along so well while you were an intern, and I thought, wow, it's really great that you're gonna come back. I was really hoping for it, because it's so much nicer to have a person that you already know, you already work with, you already vibe with so well, rather than someone new coming in, someone that you don't know. And I was worried, okay, so maybe we won't get along as well anymore, but we actually get along even better. And we can even organize an entire little episode now.
It's easy when we live together. I can just knock on her door and like, hi, do you want to record a podcast episode in my room?
Maya, wake up!
So honestly, it exceeded all my expectations, and I was just worried, like, oh, what if you get into a fight and then you have to go to work? But we honestly never experienced this, and I think we have a good communication between us, and I think that's important when you work and live together. So, and also for the future ESC volunteers of IYNF, you're probably gonna stay in this apartment. And it's a wonderful apartment. We live in Prague 3, and it's kind of central, but also more like local and cozy, with cafes and farmers market and this kind of thing. So I really enjoy it.
Yes, and Amali really enjoys the farmers market.
I talked about it like 3 times in this episode.
I think you mentioned the farmers market.
And also for me, this is a big positive point about working with IYNF, because they really set you up for success when you have a good living space and everything. And also, one of my favorite parts about being an ESC volunteer in IYNF is the travels we do. The projects. We have projects all over Europe, and of course, as an ESC volunteer, you get to participate, you prepare, you pack, and you go on the activities, and you're there to organize and facilitate and this kind of thing. So this is really one of my favorite things. And can you tell us a little bit about your experience traveling with IYNF?
Traveling, okay. So, I always felt like, especially when I was on my first, we also have these trainings, and when I was on my first training and I was going to meet all the other ESC volunteers, I always remember thinking about myself as that princess from Prague. And I also get to like travel. I've been to Romania, Czech Republic, I'm gonna go to the Netherlands, I've been to Germany, and it's like, so the traveling is quite amazing. The fact that we do our projects in different parts of Europe, it's truly amazing. And also you went to Senegal, which is quite amazing. And also a big part of IYNF is the Nature Friends houses. And last year we didn't have the luck to have access to them for some reasons I don't really remember. But this year we're going to have all the activities in the Nature Friends houses, and these Nature Friends houses have like great historic value for our Nature Friends movement. And it's so amazing to see different houses from different places and just get even more involved. And traveling together, quite fun. We do our best to make ourselves comfortable, be it on an airplane or a very, very long Flixbus ride. And we like, sometimes we share rooms together, sometimes we stay a bit longer. I think it's quite amazing. I like it, and one of the most amazing things about the project is the travels.
I feel really lucky that that's part of our ESC volunteering. And in January we went to the Netherlands, and we stayed at the Nature Friends house in Bergen on Seine, and it was super, super nice. And also to see how the Nature Friends houses are run by volunteers, and that they're so friendly and nice,
and the volunteers are all people who are like retired, like old people who are just so active and so like involved in the community and the movement, and it's just amazing.
And in May we're gonna go to Austria.
Yes.
And there we're gonna go to a nature friend's house up in the mountains. So we actually have to hike for 1 hour up the mountains. And then we're gonna reach our venue with all of our 22 participants. And I'm really looking forward to see another nature friend's house. And also in September, we're gonna have an activity in Italy, in Tuscany, which is also gonna be beautiful, and I'm really excited to see this house as well.
Yeah, I hope I get to join. I'm really already planning like my life to have that free week so I can go to Tuscany and join all of you, because, and also you, I hope you're gonna get to come. So yeah, it's just gonna be a nice closure to the year that we've been working so hard on, and
and also we're happy that we get to travel a lot. And would you give some advices for future people that are maybe thinking about applying for ESC, or people that are preparing and already got their spot? Do you have any tips?
Ooh, tips. For people who are already who want to become an ESC volunteer, yes, first of all, do it. Second of all, do your research and make sure that you research the organization well and that you research the job well, because not all placements are as beautiful as IYNF. Let's be honest. So many ESC volunteers actually had negative experiences with their organization. So I think it's a smart and a wise thing to really pick your project and to really like look into it and see whether you will be able to live in the place that you're going to be sent to, and whether you're going to even vibe, and whether you're ready to learn the language. So first of all, have everything settled with yourself, and if you're already waiting for your term to start, if you're a visa, if you're waiting for a visa, then good luck with that. I think you need a lot of it, especially for Czech Republic.